What's up, y'all? My name is Ian Edwards, and welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. Shows on allthingscomedy.com. Go to the website, and there's a host of other podcasts there by a lot of great comics. And, this could be your podcast hub/home. Bill Burr's podcast here. Tiger Belly's here. Bert Kreischer's here. Bert and Bill have a podcast. Al Madrigal's going to come back with 3 podcasts. All types of shit's going on. So come through, tell your friends, listen to allthingscomedy.com. This podcast is also visually on YouTube. So if you're listening, go to YouTube and type in Ian Soccer Comic Rant Edwards or Ian Edwards. Like and subscribe, please. I hate asking that, but I guess you got to grow the base. So please do that. If you like it, leave comments. I respond back. And it's fun. And we have people from Belgium hit me up, from all over the world, and we talk Premier League. This podcast is sponsored by onthevolleyapparel.com. Sorry, I'm blanking. onthevolleyapparel.com. You go there, and they have tanks, tees, hoodies for men and for women. They have hip-hop soccer emblems on the front, and you can order stuff and use my promo code and get 20% off. My promo code is Comic Rant, and see some of the t-shirts and hoodies and sweatshirts. They got hats right there. They got the Wu-Tang symbol with the soccer field on it. And see that? Boom. It's pretty nice. I like that. The Wu-Tang soccer field ain't nothing to fuck with, basically. And what's that? Were those feet? Let me see. No fumes. All right. Those are worse than ballet toes. Yeah, but go to onthevolleyapparel.com, use my promo code Comic Rant, get 20% off. And that's the sponsor. And what's up? My guest is Martin, comic, actor, and writer, sports writer. He does writing for the Clippers, MLS, and 442 magazine. He's a Spurs fan, so he's wrong about a lot of shit, but we excuse that to have him on the show. What's up, Martin?
Hello.
Harris. What's good?
Pleasure,
yeah.
Pleasure as always.
I know it's a pleasure for you. I know. You're welcome, bro.
My pleasure.
And my computer just died. There it is. It's back. So what's going on, man?
Good. Watched some guys had to wake up early to watch another triumphant Jose Mourinho
Another
game.
triumphant. It hasn't been that triumphant. You've ruined the. I knew how to say triumphant. Triumphant. Yeah. You ruined the word for me.
Mourinho did.
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't. Not for me. Also give a shout out to Aaron Brungardt, show producer. What's up, Aaron?
What's up, guys?
Hey, man.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Are you into Christmas?
Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Me too. A lot of people I don't believe in Christmas. I believe in any holiday that gives me time off from work, and I get to sit and eat, hang out, laugh, and not get up early and watch movies. Like, who can't be into Christmas? You don't have to believe in the Jesus part. It's the time off part.
Exactly. Who doesn't like to see houses with lights on them?
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't like to see the world that's already burning so much greenhouse gas burn some more, but for something that you'd like? I think that's how electricity works. I'm not sure. But yeah, so it's a great time. Have a Merry Christmas, man.
Oh, you too.
All right, for sure. So what's up, Martin? So you say you saw some games. You brought up Mourinho. Is Mourinho the most important thing right now, or is Everton the most important thing right now?
Depends. I think Liverpool is the most important thing now, and but the subject of the week for sure, there are a couple of them, and Arsenal and Everton are at the top of the list, yeah.
Well, let's go Everton first.
All right.
So we can talk about the game with Manu and also talk about this Ancelotti thing.
And the Moise Kean thing.
And the Moise Kean thing, right.
Yeah.
So let's talk game first.
Mm-hmm.
Then, we'll work it out. We're loose here. As far as the game is concerned, I was worried about this game as a Man U fan. The game, Man U, Everton tied 1-1. But I was worried about this game because I saw the energy that they came out with at Chelsea last week. And I was like, if they bring that shit to our house, they could crush us. It was like a lot of pressure, a lot of energy, a lot of running, and a boost of confidence, just all in one ball, just rolling at you. And they handled a very good, skilled Chelsea team last week. And they came up to Old Trafford, and they caused some problems. I mean, we scored both goals, but, if they didn't cross the ball, we couldn't have scored the first goal for them. And the thing is, though, I think despite the fact that you want to admit it, that Man U has turned a corner, even in this 1-1 tie, right? I can look at some stats to verify my theory that Man U has turned a corner. And this is why, this season, I'm about real growth. And some people want to grow and win only. And I'm about growing, winning, tying sometimes, and even losing sometimes. But I want to see the growth, because when you grow, that's like, you say you get your paycheck, right? And it's $100. And you're gonna spend, you can spend the whole $100 and have it and enjoy it now, or you could take $25 out of that $100 and put it in the bank and save it for later so that it can grow. So later on, when you need it for the rest of your life, and you retire, or just when you want to go on a vacation or something, you can spend it. So sometimes when you grow, you have to take some things away and save them. So it's not always equal to a win. That's my whole point. But in this game, right, against Everton, because we lost to Everton, I think, earlier in the season, right?
No, that was the first time you played them. I think you lost last season.
Like last season.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a point to make, but I'll wait.
Well, let me get to my point. Yeah. The point is, there's been games this year when teams sat back. Not that Everton completely sat back, but where we didn't have shots on goal or shots period in a game. And this week, in this tie, after winning the last three games actually, because we won in the Europa League, we won. So we had 24 shots, 8 on target. That's growth. 67% possession, 529 passes, 85% pass completion, and you could see us looking better as an attacking force. So I'm happy with that. Some people might not be, including you or some Man U fans.
No,
but for a bunch of
not happy or unhappy.
But for what we put on the field and us being 6 in the table for that team, this is a good season so far.
I don't completely disagree, but I kind of will make a counterpoint. I'm not 100%, I don't want 100% agree, but I do not disagree completely.
Right.
I think there are some good points, and it's a good, I would say, perspective you have overall. But there's also the other side of the coin, as I call it. So I think, and it was proved to me yet again, because that game was almost like a measure stick for me for the theory I've heard. It's not like I started the theory. I've heard the theory many times after recent games. So the way they're set up, they can only be successful one way at this moment with Solskjaer. It's playing counter-attacking football, where you can counter teams that are, often better. Like you got some very good.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Did you see the game?
Yeah, I did see the extended highlights.
You did not see. Okay, well, I'll answer.
Okay, so no, just let me finish the point.
Yeah,
so you got good results against City, against Tottenham, against Chelsea, playing counter-attacking football most of the time, just using speed of your young players and especially Rashford, Martial as well. Fred as a workhorse in the middle. He wasn't as effective in this game, by the way.
You didn't see the game.
No. Let me finish.
Yeah, but you didn't see the game.
No, not the full game.
I did. Go ahead.
So that's the way they were playing. Like, let the other team have the possession, take the ball, counter. When you, and it's a science. It's not just a theory. You do lose points against technically weaker teams all season long. So there's only one way you can play. You cannot control the game. You cannot control with the possession of the game and build with positional attack. And that's the problem for United. So you're kind of one-sided team at this point, where you're capable of getting result against a very good team, but you cannot input your dominance on other teams.
Okay, so
as you should.
This is why I would like to have you on the show, because I would like to have you on the show because you're going to make original statements. You're not going to regurgitate something back to me that I've already said and that other people have already said, but you have to watch the match. First of all, Fred had a good game.
I mean, good game,
good game.
Not like the one against Spurs and City.
No,
yeah, sure.
Good game.
Yeah.
He's in the midfield. We have the ball 67% of the time against a pretty decent team. A good game.
Decent team. The team was complete shambles.
Now you have to let me counter your argument. You didn't see the game, right? So the problem with your statement about counterattack, the goal we scored, the equalizer, was not on a counterattack. It was on an attack, a consistent attack. We broke them down. The young Welsh guy, James, took the ball in the middle of the field and passed it to the 18-year-old, now 18-year-old. Damn, he didn't start. So, what the hell?
Greenwood.
And Greenwood scored.
Yeah.
So you're wrong. So we're not scoring goals.
No, you were chasing the game in this one. Yeah.
We were chasing the game. So it wasn't. So it wasn't a counterattack. So, and then in the statements so you're making a statement about a team that was a few months ago. You have to update your statement because, Liverpool. Yeah, you do, because Liverpool progresses. But they're pretty consistent, but they had to start their story at the beginning of the season. And the story it's the same story as the beginning of the season. They just keep on going forward. They keep on getting results, the whole 3 points. If you write the story of Man City last week compared to the story of Man City this week, it's two different stories. They lost last week. They won this week. So, things happen. You have to pay attention to the story. You can't watch the highlights. Fred has had his third or fourth game in a row, and I've been very critical of Fred. There's no reason, when you look me in the eye, for me to tell you a lie about Fred. Me and you were talking about a player from Man U who played in this very game, and I was not complimentary of him at all.
Lingard.
Yeah,
you don't like him.
So no, that's not true. And there is something about Lingard. Lingard just did an interview, right? Mm-hmm. Saying that he's had a rough several months. Like his mom, something's wrong with her. She's sick or something. So, or something's going on. So his sister and his little brother live with him now. Mm-hmm. So he's been dealing with family issues. And he says it's been affecting him on the field. And, he never told the coach. And I think he finally just told Solskjaer so that they can. And so when he messed up also later on during the summer when he tweeted that thing or Instagram that thing.
Yeah, it was a terrible thing. Yeah, terrible thing.
I didn't even see it, to be honest.
Yeah, terrible.
But that was a part of it too. But to me, it's so you're injured. You shouldn't even be playing. You know what I mean? If somebody's not fit, they don't play him. So, hey man, you're injured. It's not like a typical soccer injury, but if you can't deliver, then you shouldn't play. You should just chill till you get your shit together, and then you can play because you're hurting us on the field. Yesterday, there was a lot of Lukaku control. I thought we got rid of Lukaku, and
who could score goals? I mean, he scored goals for you,
right? And we found a Lukaku in Lingard, and he missed a goal at the first. He missed an opportunity first 15 seconds into the game. But I don't want to lay into him. I do want him to get better and improve. Because, listen, man, this is your job, right? And say we buy some players. If they're better than you, we're not, then the owners, the coach, they're not going to care if you have personal issues. They're going to bench you and then sell you. Or you're going to go to a mid-table team. So you have to deal with this at some period, you know what I mean? Or else you're going to be gone. You know what I mean? We're going to be buying players in the winter, and we're going to buy some in December, in the summer window. So you can't be like, I have this issue. You can't lean on it. You know, it's going to affect you. So either straighten it out off the field and deal with it and take some time off, or deal with it both ways and deal with it in life and still become a player and do your job, or else you're going to lose your job. So it's still not, I don't want, you know, I'm trying to not shit on people, but it still doesn't work as an excuse, because you're going to lose your job to somebody that they buy who's going to deliver on the field.
Yeah, I mean, but even look at the results, last 5 results. Like you drew against, I think, Aston Villa, then you beat Spurs and you beat City, and then you draw against Everton. You know, so it shows the inconsistency, and that's a sign of a young team. Sure, you know,
exactly.
But still, I still think that there is opportunity this season. You know, I think you should use every opportunity there is. You know, because every season is different, and there's no ways. There is never a guarantee that the next season will be better. It could be worse. It could be more competition. You know, like I still blame the Spurs more, not for losing the title to Chelsea, when Chelsea was clearly superior and won like a record number of points. But I still think that the season when Leicester won, that was the opportunity for Spurs to win the title, and they didn't do it. And everybody was saying, "Oh, next year."
I blame them,
and there
too.
was no next year.
I blame Spurs too.
So what I'm trying to say is, you know, you have a clearer chance, especially with those results against Spurs and City, to finish top 4. You should try to get into top 4. You should, you know, and those results are not getting you closer.
They're gonna try.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying.
You look at the age of the players on the field, and it's going to be what it's going to be, because they're immature than a lot of teams, and there's a lot of people with a lot of shit to learn. Like, we just played 4,000 games in a row with a player from the youth system in it. There's no team has a history of that. So we have academy players in there, and I like listen, there is winning, but for me, you know, I have the nostalgia of the Scholes, Giggs, Beckham, Neville Brothers thing, and the butt, and I, you know, to me, when this team does start winning and wins a title, it'll just feel better knowing that we grew these people from our own. And I'd like Lingard to be a part of that, and he has to get his shit together, or else he won't be a part of it.
He might not, especially if the rumor with Haaland. There's a rumor that would try to buy Haaland. Apparently, the only thing that separates you from the transfer being completed, and it will be at least 90 mil, is Mino Raiola asking for 20 mil for himself.
So he wants 20 on top of the 90, or 20
on top of it? Yeah. I mean, he took 30 plus for Pogba transfer, so he clearly sees Menu as a good target to get richer.
That is rape.
I know, yeah, and that was the highest. I think that was the highest provision ever.
Isn't this illegal?
No.
Why not?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Here in America, it is. I think in NBA, every agent is making 4% flat.
Mm-hmm.
I think FIFA doesn't have any system of keeping.
They need to, because this, like we was talking about this in the car. Yeah. This does not help the player. This helps. So the agent is supposed to. Like there's issues right now with the Writers Guild and its clients. The problem is the agents are supposed to work 100% on behalf of the client. You know, like the client hires the agent, so the client is getting paid. That the agent's getting paid from here. So who pays the agent in Europe?
Both. I actually know that field very well, because, you know, when I was still in full-time sports writer in my mid-20s, I got a couple of job offers from managers, from football agents to join them. It's usually you get paid from the club whatever you negotiate with the club, that's like a free zone. How much you can get, you get. And I think the player is between 5 and 15% of his wages throughout the contract.
Jesus.
And plus signing fee. You get from his signing fee and you get from his contract every month.
That is so fucking crazy.
I know. They make a lot of money, trust me.
That is so crazy,
a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, this is...
And FIFA completely doesn't regulate it to the point that there is a team in Portugal in the first division that is fully owned by Jorge Mendes and only employs his players, that he's also manager. So he pays provision himself as a club owner.
Right. So he just makes money off
his own money.
Yeah, off his own money. Yeah. All right. Disagree 1,000%. They need to fix that. Because, like say Haaland, say this move. Say a move, some team that he would fit on perfectly, that's great for him, is the move is stopped because of this fee that he wants. Then this guy will never go on to be the person he could be and make the name he could make for himself because he ended up somewhere else.
PSG, for example.
I don't think PSG is a bad choice, but it's not always going to work out in the player's benefit, So I think players need to put their foot down.
Yeah, and it's a good fit actually because he's young. He kind of fits United style, and plus Solskjaer is I assume
It's his dad.
Yeah, his dad's friend. They played together for Norway. So
plus, I just think like watching the game this week against and a guy from the United Stand. He runs that website, that YouTube page. He made a good point. It's like, yeah, I feel like we need attacking midfielders, but we also do need sometimes the change. Like even though Greenwood came in, we do need the change of attack so that we're not so one-dimensional, and Haaland presents a different dimension of an attack. Sometimes you want to switch it up and late in the game or early in the game, and then sometimes when Marshall is injured, you could just switch the whole thing up, you know what I mean? And make teams have to make an adjustment for you. And this guy's a good scorer. He's done it in the Champions League and in the Bundesliga, right? Does he play for Salzburg?
Salzburg, yeah.
Yeah. So
Austrian Bundesliga.
Austrian Bundesliga?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Champions League. That's where he promoted himself. Yeah.
Right. So
by the way, you know that they drew the last 16 today, right? The Champions League.
I missed it.
You missed it. There's one game that is crazy.
What is it?
Real Madrid versus City.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They're head-to-head against each other.
Poor Pep.
Shit, all poor Zidane.
I think Real Madrid have more experience in winning any Champions League.
Yeah, it didn't help them last year.
Yeah.
Didn't help them last year. It's not helping them in the league. They tied again this week in the league.
Yeah, we can check the whole thing. I think Tottenham plays. It was a good draw for Tottenham. I forgot who we're playing. It was a good draw for sure.
That's why you agreed to come. It was a good draw. Let me see.
Yeah, it was a pretty good draw.
Oh yeah.
No, that's the Premier League. That's the next round of.
Oh, just type in Champions League, Aaron. I see Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Dortmund, PSG.
Yeah, that's the second good game. Yeah.
Yeah. Tottenham, Leipzig.
Yep.
You think you could beat Leipzig that easy?
Not easy, but we'll beat them, I think.
Napoli, Barcelona is fucking good.
Barcelona will win it. I don't think Napoli is that good, especially that they hired Gattuso, who I don't consider a great manager.
You skipped over Chelsea, Bayern. That's fucking...
Chelsea's not that good, man. They're losing every game right now.
I don't know, man.
Bayern is Bayern. I don't believe in Chelsea, really, in this
Bayern
game.
is not doing even good in the Bundesliga. They're not doing as good as they normally. So they're not completely together. Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Jesus.
Atletico is very bad this season, right? They're really bad.
Yeah, they're kind of underperforming. They're not really bad. They're like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, but
they're underperforming.
They lost some major players, and it shows. Offensive players, including Griezmann. It shows.
Right. But they got João Felix. But I guess he needs time to mature into that league.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
But Real Madrid, Man City, that's the game. That's the game.
There's a lot of good games. PSG, Dortmund.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Bayern.
Those are like two teams that should be in the final, probably.
Even Juventus, Lyon is pretty good. Napoli, Barcelona. Ancelotti less Barcelona. And Ancelotti less Napoli. So is it the done deal? Is he going to Everton?
It looks like it's almost done deal, yeah.
Do you think this is a mistake for Ancelotti?
No.
No?
No, why?
Because of the pedigree of ownership that he's used to, for him to achieve the great things he has achieved. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's achieved the best things at the best clubs with the best owners.
Mm-hmm.
And when he goes to a place that's like, I would say, half committed, not totally committed.
No, they have a very good owner. They were spending money every summer. The problem is that they never got the results they wanted, you know?
That was not good money spent. I wouldn't have bought those players. I would have.
Yeah, but I'm saying that they did give money for transfers. So it's not like if he'll ask for money, he'll get the money, you know, to buy players he wants to buy. They just didn't buy well, but that's not the owner's fault. The owner just signs checks. It's like, you know,
all right.
People like to shit on James Dolan from the Knicks, but you know, people who understand the situation. He's a very bad owner, but he gives money. Like, they just spend. The managers are doing terrible job for the Knicks, you know.
Who's running it for the owner?
Wrong people.
Yeah. So who hired those wrong people?
Yeah, that's a bad decision for sure. Yeah.
Like, I agree with you. So it's good that he's down to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if Ancelotti can make him hire the right people to get the right players for him.
Yeah.
Then it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But Everton, it's a great move for Everton, but I don't know if it's a great move for Ancelotti.
I think here's my secret theory about Ancelotti, why he's joining Everton. I think both Arsenal and Everton wanted Ancelotti, but Arsenal are such a mess right now that he was just like, nah. It's because they expect to win right away, you know. And Everton, they will give him some time to work things out, you know. There's no pressure for him at Everton. There's no pressure. All he has to do is just not get relegated, and he won't, you know. So, but he doesn't have to finish top 4 or anything like that.
All right. Those things make sense.
So it's just, you know, no pressure. I think at Napoli there was pressure for him to compete against Juventus every season, and you know, like, he did well. He advanced to last 16 of the Champions League. In the league, they're not that great.
But they weren't going to give him the money. Were they spending money at Napoli?
They do spend money. They just spend.
But they don't get the best premium quality. They have a good core thing going on, but they're not. When you look at, you could see why. When you look at what the paper of the names on the paper, the players at Juventus, you say, all right, Napoli's not going to be. And then now Inter is got Conte. You're like, you know, so I think.
Although Inter didn't qualify to the last 16 of the Champions League, so.
Yeah, but now they can focus more on the league.
They can.
Yeah.
They can. And
Juventus lost last week.
Yeah.
So, and I think Inter's in the lead now.
Yep.
Yeah. So, it's all right.
Napoli is popular in Poland because nobody spend more money on Polish players ever. They have like 2 Polish players. They spend over 30 mil.
That's what I'm saying. Napoli's not that smart. So he's going to take over with Duncan Ferguson. Now, we're speaking about Duncan Ferguson. We're talking about Man. We're talking about Everton. And Duncan Ferguson
did a good job.
He did a good job. He got 4 points out of 6.
Mm-hmm.
And the first game, he won. He was hugging ball boys and seeming like not just a great coach, but as a great person, right?
Yeah.
So in this game, he sends on a kid who's a little bit older than a ball boy, who's on his team. And he's subbed him in and then subbed him out. And then
Moise
Kean didn't acknowledge him after he subbed him out. And he's clearly disappointed in the kid's performance, but to do that in front of the world, like you want this kid to feel bad. The same guy who was hugging ball boys last week.
Yeah.
Only give this kid 18 minutes and then disses him in front of the world. But I'm this great guy. So last week when he was hugging all the ball boys, I felt this is you're copying Mourinho and you're trying to endear yourself. And I think all the people that love Duncan Ferguson now as a coach or just a guy on the sidelines, even players, they didn't like him when he was a player. He probably fouled the shit out of people.
Yeah, that was a very, very, very surprising decision to give him the team, and I think he hoped he can stay, just like Solskjaer did, you know, go on a good run and build this culture of, you know, this supportive, nice guy. But clearly they had different plans. They saw him only as a caretaker, and that's it. But with Moise Kean, he got criticized for that because I listened to a lot of opinions about that. But then Jamie Carragher on the Sky Sports show broke down last 5 minutes of Moise Kean's performance. It was just a disaster, like he didn't press, then he didn't come back, then he dribbled on his own half, lost the ball, fouled the guy, created a free kick situation outside of penalty box. Like, it was, everything went wrong what was supposed to go wrong. So and then they see Ferguson reacting, passionately outside the lines, and he's like, I'm done, we have to make a change. That's just a disaster. We'll just concede a goal in a second, playing like that.
Yeah. And those things probably did happen.
So the science of it, like the emotions of it is one thing, but the science of it, like he had a really bad 18 minutes. That was a really bad performance.
And a lot of, I get it. But, hey, man, like, I get it. And you can be. But if you're this passionate, loving person, don't pretend to be this passionate, loving person when you're winning and somebody's fucking up. You can't be it. You're not even losing, and you're at Old Trafford, and you're tied 1-1. So it's like, is it enough to send an 18? How old is he? 18?
I think 19.
19-year-old kid
with Juventus.
From Juventus, who's barely played a lot,
especially this season, because last season he scored a goal for Juventus and for Italy. Like he was the newcomer of the year in Italy, and then first surprise was the way he got shipped to Everton, and now there's some feedback coming that he's not that easy to work with, that he wasn't that easy to work with at Juventus, and he's not easy to work with at Everton, which might affect things.
Maybe not, but hey, Duncan Ferguson, don't pretend you're this ball boy loving person when you ain't. Just be who the fuck you are.
Only Mourinho is.
Yeah,
ball boy loving person.
Yeah, and even Mourinho's pretending. So don't try to be this ball boy hug every kid when he's leaving the first game person, and you can't like say some shit to your player. Like that's that's all my whole point. And I get Duncan's side of the story, but this kid has a whole life in football ahead of him. And listen, man, if some people say you destroyed his confidence, hey man, if you're not gonna survive that, you ain't gonna survive soccer anyway. So it's a great moment for this kid to build from anyway. Yeah. But Duncan, stop pretending.
But also learn, because if he didn't put the effort, if he took it for granted, if he was not happy about being a sub in the first place and he took it like lightly, that's the coming of the second half, then he has to learn, he has to improve.
I agree
because he's got talent. Clearly, I remember his games at Juventus, he scored some great goals, so there is clearly a talent, but there's clearly a problem with with not being mature, which is understandable.
Yeah, he's young. So that's Moise. That's
I feel bad for David Moyes, by the way, because if he loses the job to Ancelotti, I don't think anybody else will hire him. Everton probably was his only chance.
He's got money. He's good. And if he blew the money, then that's on him.
Yeah, by the way, I talked to...
He's 70 what?
No, he's not that old.
David Moyes?
Is he? He's that old? By the way, I'll tell you that I interviewed Tim Howard 2 weeks ago, who was at Man U. He worked with both Ferguson and David Moyes. He said David Moyes was the best manager I worked with. Yeah,
because he kept him he had a great successful run at Everton.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean, that's good. That's true for him.
How old is he?
David Moyes
56.
Is only 56 years old.
I told you.
The guy that looks like this?
Yeah, in the early 90s, he was still playing, I remember. He was playing, I think, with... he played one game, I think, with David Beckham. When David Beckham was on the loan with Preston North End, I think they were on the same team in one game.
David Moyes is only 56.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, I remember. I read that story that they played one game on the same team in like a lower league.
He shouldn't coach anymore. It's taken a toll. It is taking a toll.
So he won't be coaching because that was his chance for a comeback.
He can get a job. I thought he was older.
In MLS, probably.
He can get a job. I thought he was older and he can get. So.
I mean, if Ancelottis of this world are taking jobs like Everton, then David Moyes either championship or he has to come to MLS.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll work if he wants to work. So Arsenal versus Man City.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
I mean,
talk about
Arsenal fans are pissed, and that game was over 39-33 39 minutes in, the game was over.
I would say 50 minutes in when they weren't 2-0. You could tell it's over.
The 39 minutes in is when the third goal was in. So you said 50?
15, I would say, after 2 goals. That was it. That's it. Because they like it was over. I mean, you could tell that they were mentally defeated, the Arsenal players. They didn't even put the effort. Like they didn't even try to attack and press. City players were playing ball to each other. Fernandinho to Otamendi to Fernandinho to back to Rodri, back to Otamendi, and nobody attacked them. They were just playing for like 2 minutes straight, and then one pass and open play. You know,
I think
just no effort at all. No effort.
I think there might have been a strategic mistake by Ljungberg, which he kind of clearly instructed them to go at City. And in the first 15 seconds of the game, Martinelli got a good strike on goal, and then they opened themselves up to a team that can attack better than them and defend better than them. And so by 39 minutes in, 40 minutes, there were 3 goals down. And De Bruyne had 2 goals, but his best goal was the goal that didn't go in the goal, the one that the keeper saved and hit the post. And it's just, now, what do you think Arsenal should do?
I think what they're trying to do is, and that adds a different layer to this game, by the way, because I even saw after the game Guardiola and Ljungberg half jokingly covering their mouth because they didn't want to be deciphered after the game, and kind of joking around after the game. Well, the rumor is that they already met with Mikel Arteta, who was on the bench.
I have a photo.
Yeah, who was on the bench of Man City against Arsenal, and he might be their next manager, which makes it super awkward.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but the only problem is pretty much they're replacing Ljungberg with different Ljungberg, because Arteta was never a head coach in his life. The same with Ljungberg. He was an assistant before, and the same with Arteta. He was an assistant before.
But there's a history of coaches under Pep becoming good head coaches.
No.
You're from Barca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But only at Barca.
Yeah. So
there were more Barca coaches than under Pep coaches.
This team still has the same problems, but they can rectify some of it. Here's a good thing about Arsenal. They've spent money, so they're probably willing to spend more money.
They had the worst spending of the summer.
But they
Pepe.
need to. I know, but they have to get better spenders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then can Arteta bring? Arteta's going to have the same issues.
Well, it's not 100%. First of all, it's not 100% sure because nobody really wants that job. Nobody really wants the job. I mean, Arteta might want the job, but there's another layer to it, which I think they already know at City if that's the case or not. If that's the case, Arteta will not go to Arsenal. Apparently, Guardiola, and it's a rumor, so it's not confirmed, said to City officials that he's leaving to be coach of Juventus next year. And he wants Arteta to be his replacement. Like, he wants Arteta to have a first eye on the job, to be his successor at City. So now the question is, if he has a chance to coach City, which is in a way better position to win next year, would he accept Arsenal job where he has a lot of work to do? And
why would he go to Juventus?
He wants to go there, and apparently they want him badly there.
They just hired Sarri, right?
Yeah, but Sarri was also one year at Chelsea. He wasn't like in long-term plans, and it's not working out that great. I mean, they're not playing that great under Sarri. They're playing okay.
They only lost 1 game.
Yeah, but it's more like the way they play. Like they want to be the best team in Europe and to bring that flair and attacking football. Like they're kind of a boring football this season.
I don't know.
And they want Guardiola for a while. Apparently, he wants to go now there. So and that would fit. That would kind of fit the timeline because he usually stays at one club for like 4 years, 5 years. So that would
3.
Yeah.
Except Barca was the longest.
Yeah, so that kind of fits the timeline. There were signs already in this season that he might soon want to move over somewhere, and the rumor and it's coming back stronger and stronger and stronger is that Juventus is the team. So there's this layer. If Arteta has a chance to be manager of City, it's obviously
You'd rather stay.
much better position than being manager of Arsenal.
Or maybe maybe Pep is just saying that so that Arteta doesn't take the Arsenal job and he gets to keep Arteta and say, "Gotcha, nigga. I'm not going anywhere."
Plus, there's another thing to it.
Now you have to stay here and be my assistant for a few more years.
Yeah, and that's not even the rumor. That is actually a fact that Arteta was being interviewed and considered for Arsenal job, and apparently agreed to take Arsenal when they made a turn last minute, the owners, and hired Emery.
Right.
So there
and
might be
now
some.
they come crawling back to Arteta.
Exactly.
Somebody sent me a picture. Where is a picture of Arsenal officials pictured at Arteta's home at 1 a.m. Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. That just sounds so espionage and like movie convoluted. I'm not sure. We'll see.
One thing I'm 100% certain, because the list of managers they consider, there was a Ralph Rangnick on it. These all random kinds of managers. It just shows me where they are as a club right now, Arsenal. That they don't have an idea what they want to do. Like they really don't. And that's why I'm pretty positive about my team, because when they decided to part ways with Pochettino, Mourinho was signed the next day. So they had a clear plan to move over to a certain guy. Where with Arsenal, it's now 2 weeks since they fired Emery, and some people say, including Thierry Henry, that way premature they fired Emery because they didn't have a replacement. They didn't know. They just fired a guy to be fired. Where we fired Pochettino.
Because the fans were calling for it.
Yeah, but we fired Pochettino already having probably Mourinho in place. So that was like a quick transition, and it showed in results that we won 4 or 5 in Premier League. Where Arsenal, since they fired Emery, I think they didn't win.
They won one.
No, they didn't win.
They did.
In the Europa League. In the league, I think they're on 8 games without win right now.
All right, let's go. I think they won one. Let's see.
Did they?
First of all, I got to slide all the way down the bottom to see where Arsenal's at. No, they're just at 10th. Yeah, they won one last week. They beat West Ham.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they won one.
So they won 1 out of 9, last 9.
Yeah, but that's not on Ljungberg. If we just talk about Ljungberg's record.
But they lost like 2 out of 3, I think, in the Premier League.
They won one, they drew one. They drew one, then they lost one, then they won one, and now they lost one.
So they won 1 out of 4. Not great.
Say again?
So they won 1 out of 4.
I'm not saying it's great. Yeah.
Too bad, because he's a nice guy, but, just clearly.
So you want to talk about Spurs?
Yeah, but I just want to finish with Arsenal. It's there was a huge controversy with Özil. He's becoming the most controversial guy in the league. Like he made his China comments that they banned the game in China. Some people joke that it's good for Arsenal they didn't show the game in China because they didn't lose this potential sponsor that would watch how bad they are.
So let me ask you. So Ozil makes a China comment.
Yeah.
And in China does what? Bans the game in China? China needs to grow the fuck up.
They did it with the NBA before.
Yeah, but China needs to grow the fuck up. Like, what type of shit is that? Like, oh, we don't like what one individual... Like, you're a huge-ass fucking country.
Yeah.
And if somebody says something against you, you know how much money America would lose if somebody from some country, including China, says some shit about them?
They did. NBA did lose money over that.
Right.
Yeah, with Daryl Morey.
But you know how much money America would lose if, like, somebody... Every time somebody says something against Trump, right? We said, all right, we ain't showing you our shit. You know what I mean? Like, grow up, China. Now you're looking like the assholes that everybody is saying you are. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what it is.
But let me finish. But so just grow the fuck up, China. Nobody, even if you were Jesus, somebody would try to crucify you. All right?
You're getting podcast banning in China right now.
That's the way it works. It's banned there anyway. You know what I'm saying? So just grow up, China. Like, you're a huge ass country, one of the biggest in the world. Just deal with it. Even, you're going to have detractors. And then, yeah. So, come on. That's some crazy shit. Now, Did you finish saying what you had to say against?
Ozil created controversy, but then on the field he created more controversy. I mean, he's being booed at by Arsenal fans. He's becoming like
he's a new Xhaka.
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong? It's like the Arsenal fans are becoming the biggest haters in football.
Well, they did cheer the fans at the end of the game. The fans did cheer the players at the end of the game, and sang a song of positivity towards them. Then I watched some my friend Lloyd in England sent me some fan interviews, and they're pretty pissed. But some of them are like directing their anger at the right places, at Edu and the other two, I think, ex-players like Roy Parler is getting some heat, and the people above them who hired them. You know what I mean? And then there's one more guy, I can't remember his name now. But they're saying, they're like, listen, Arsenal is not being run properly from the top. And the fans are just, the players are right there for them to react to immediately. But also, you see the players dogging it on the field. You don't see the effort. So you're going to shit on them. Like, those players just can't play that position. Those positions, they're not Arsenal quality. You know what I mean? They're just not good enough.
Yeah, especially defensively, they're really bad. Very bad.
From the back up to just to where the front starts solid. Back there, it's not happening.
Yeah, no, they're really in really big trouble. Plus Pepe, they spent so much money on him.
Arsenal's like a girl who spent money on titties and does not work out her legs and her ass. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, just why are you just focused on the horns? You know what I'm saying? So that's what Arsenal looks like.
Yeah, and Pepe, biggest transfer of the summer, and so far I don't think he scored one goal. I think one from penalty, but not from the open play.
I think he scored from open play.
He did?
Yeah.
Not in the league though.
I think he did.
He did?
Yeah. Maybe that win that I was talking about. I think he scored in that. But it's not much, man. It's definitely not much.
Pepe.
Yeah. Let's see. If we click on his Wikipedia, maybe we see it. Two goals.
I think one was penalty 100%.
Yeah, and one was open play, yeah.
Well, 70 plus mil. Should be better. Should be better than that.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday I saw some flashes, but it's not his job to defend. Or maybe it is. It's all the teams.
It is. He's a winger in modern football. You have to defend.
Yeah, you have to defend. Yeah, you're right. So, nothing's happening. Spurs versus Wolves. You guys eventually won that game. Wolves was like really cutting you motherfuckers apart, even though you scored some great goals in this game.
Yeah, we scored some great goals. There was one guy on Wolves who was creating havoc at Traore. You know, he could be dangerous at times. Like this guy has pace. You know, so I think we got 3 yellow cards on him.
Mm-hmm. But then Lucas Moura probably caused as the equal amount of yellow cards. Yeah, the opposite ways. Like two teams had their right-sided players going at defenders and wreaking havoc. Mm-hmm. And then also you have Son on the left too.
Yep. So Ali behind Kane. Yeah. Right.
But Son was he had a decent game, but he wasn't as affected. Like Lucas Moura was giving him hell, and Traore was like Traore over the last 2.5 years has gotten so much better, and he almost doesn't get the credit for all the chances that he creates that his teammates don't put away. You know, he's getting those crosses over and
he can run,
and he's making better decisions mentally. So his attacking IQ is growing. Yeah. So yeah, it was a great. Yeah, I mean, his goal was great, and Lucas Moura's goal was fucking great too.
Yeah, and Vertonghen was in the right place in the right time. We kind of got lucky at the end, but sometimes you have to get lucky. And I think it was a very Mourinho-like game, and hopefully he will continue to be that guy, that humble. Nice guy, as he is right now.
As long as you win. What did you think about the midweek loss to Bayern? Did you feel that?
I didn't care, because they were already in the next round, and we knew that we're not going to finish first anyway. So no, he played some players that normally wouldn't get a shot, like including Foyth, who actually showed some promise. So
let me ask you a question: How come that matters now. But 2 weeks ago when you were here and I was saying
Astana,
we lost to Astana.
yeah, because it's embarrassing. Astana, I mean, you know, lose to Bayern.
So there's a reason.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose to Bayern, lose to Bayern at least.
We played all just kids, and all you said was, "Well, you played Lingard." You're making it's like
I agree, but it's just, you know, the fact you don't lose to teams like Astana. You just can't, you know.
Yeah, you do. If you already won the group, and it doesn't matter, you can give your kids some run. The same way you don't lose to Bayern just because you don't want to feel like you can't beat them. Like, suppose you got to face them down the road and you're looking at the team.
We lost 2-7 to them at home.
So what?
Not far ago. We lost 7-2 to them
Exactly. That's why you just
with our best team.
That's why you need to beat them to get your confidence back against them at a game that doesn't matter, but it matters later on when you play them. So, we beat them before. It's not this team that beat us 7-2 and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think Mourinho figured out that this is the game that he can let it go, you know, and focus on beating the Wolves, which he did. So that was a good trade-off.
I don't think you take.
That's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
Because Saturday morning we played Wolves, so it's just 3 days later, you know.
Yeah, but everybody's got to do that. You think Liverpool's taking games off?
They will have to eventually.
I mean, well,
although they just buy the player. They just bought a player from Salzburg. The other guy. You might buy Haaland, but the second best guy on the team was this Japanese guy they just bought.
And when did they get him? After the season?
No, this winter they're getting him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like how they do business, man.
Yeah, they're buying right. You know, like they see with Salah getting injured, or Mane sometimes could be injured as well. They have now the another option who can play both of those positions. You know. Mm-hmm. Plus now you don't have to play Mane, Salah, and Firmino every single game.
Well, he's been mixing it up. They played
Origi.
Yeah, they played Watford, who had their new coach.
Yeah.
Was it Nigel Pearson?
Nigel Pearson. Yeah.
Nigel Pearson. And, you know, Watford lost 3-0 to Liverpool. Or
2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the goal that the header that Sané scored, but they took it back. Is it Mane? Mane scored, they took it back. But, yeah, like, it's a good-looking loss for Watford because they really had a shape and a desire, and they look like... So, you know, they didn't get the win that the new coach, you know, you want to get from the new coach, but you got the effort. But, you know, you're playing the European champions and this team that wants it. And they also, Liverpool, he's rotating, man. Like, Milner's in there. I don't think Robertson started the game. And there was one injury where they took out Wijnaldum in the middle of the game.
I just remember one thing that I want to talk about. I almost forgot about it, but now I remember that.
So
when you mentioned Milner, yeah.
I'm just saying Liverpool is rotating, and like you said, they just bought a player. Like this is a committed effort. Klopp just re-signed a contract, right? Mm-hmm. Re-signed a new
By the way, I
contract.
just want to say something about that too.
Go ahead.
Because
what's your?
It looks very suspicious. This is a very bold theory, and it's a conspiracy theory.
All your theories are conspiracy theories.
But this one is specifically one very conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jurgen Klopp signed a new deal till 2024. 1 hour later, Steven Gerrard signs new deal with Glasgow Rangers till 2024.
All right.
That tells me something. Maybe there is agreement between Klopp and Gerrard that Gerrard will be his successor in 2024.
You think?
Makes sense.
From 4 years ago, if Gerrard gets an offer to coach a good team in the Premier League,
I think his dream would be to be at Liverpool. He's a Liverpool through and through.
Yeah, you don't think he'd like test drive some team in the Premier League before he came to Liverpool and leave
That's what he does at Rangers. He test drives Rangers.
Yeah, you test drive Rangers, then you test drive another team, and then you're ready, fully licensed to drive your Liverpool car. Yeah.
I think seeing especially Lampard at Chelsea, I think...
That's just nerds going too hard and looking at everything. Like everything is, yeah.
But isn't it a coincidence that the same day they both sign until 2024?
Yes, it is a coincidence, and that's all it is. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Milner signed until 2024 as well. By the way, for the last 15 years, somebody put it on the internet. For the last 15 years, Milner has the best medical tests on the team he's playing for 15 years in a row.
Have you seen his body? That motherfucker's ripped. You could see his body through his shirt.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
The best in sprints, the best in like endurance and everything. Yeah.
like, and he's gotten better as a player. He fed this ball through to Salah. I'm like, that was Milner. He split the defense. Like, he can play. He's a utility guy. Play multiple positions. Dude's amazing. He's aging like wine.
Oh yeah.
Good wine.
Oh yeah.
Actually, he's not aging. He's not aging at all.
He's not aging at all.
Yeah. Chelsea loses to Bournemouth in one of the weirdest wins ever.
I mean, Chelsea's clearly struggling. I mean, you could call it an accident, but not after you lose, I think, 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 4 at least, and they're in free fall. And well, the next game at Tottenham, I'm happy to see them at this point, because once we beat them, we're fourth in the league. So, and I think for Mourinho, it's an especially emotional game, and he'll do anything to beat Chelsea at home, and I think he will. I think we will.
Yeah, you said that against ManU, and then that's what happened. You lost.
We lost, and you played your best game of the season, in my opinion.
We played our best game against City at City.
I think you actually played even better against Tottenham.
Because
we
beat the
played
champs.
Complete game.
We beat the champs.
That was a bigger win, but I think in like football-wise, you played a better, I think overall better game against the Spurs because you controlled the game.
We played a better game because we played a better team at their home.
Mm-hmm.
So we're never going to have complete control, but
yeah,
City's a bigger wing, bro.
Yeah, but
bigger, better.
But listen, I mean, Mourinho was at United, but at Chelsea was his team. I mean, he went there twice. He won titles with Chelsea, so that's definitely his team. So I think it's more emotional against Chelsea. Plus also the stakes are higher because if we beat them, we're number 4 in the league. So
hey man, last year Mourinho was our coach, and he had to play Chelsea, and we went ahead. They went ahead, then we went ahead, and then we ended up tied or something. So he's played Chelsea before with other teams.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's. I don't think it's as much as you're putting on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But at the same time, because it's a direct competition for the 4th spot, I think
but it's
top 3 was pretty much
last year is the same thing. It's a top competition between top 6 teams trying to fight to get points for the top 4. He's been there. Is like I don't think it's a more important game than the ManU game with Tottenham. You know what I mean? Against the coach that they fired him for. Maybe he definitely wants to win, but do you think you can win?
I think we will win. Yeah, because the Chelsea are in free fall and they're not playing well at all. I think they have a major problem right now.
Don't you think they're just slumping, and then the slump this might be the end? They're definitely going to try to win this.
I mean, of course
they have.
Of course, they have to.
They just lost 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
this would be a nice scalp.
It would be, but I see the way we play right now, and I think we're set up pretty well with Mourinho. There are clear gaps that need to be filled in the winter transfer window.
Like where?
Well, fullback positions.
Yeah.
Because I think defensively, that's where the problem starts. Center backs, when you play Vertonghen and Alderweireld, they play together for so long that they can still play together effectively.
And you need a whole new defensive facelift.
Yeah, and we need to get rid of some players we don't need anymore. And he clearly gave up on Rose. He's clearly not too high on Eriksen. He's clearly not too high on who else is there? There are like 3 players he's not. Ben Davis. He clearly needs replacements there. You can tell. And Aurier is replaceable too. If we can find someone better, he will find someone better.
Right.
Plus, we can always buy this guy from Benfica and play 3 in the back and then just push up Sissoko and find another guy on the other side. Maybe Ndombele will be the guy. Who knows? But that kind of interferes with the diamond we have right now with Kane, Son, Moura and Ali, and that's, I think, the most effective offensive lineup for us, and it works great. I think that setup works great. We don't need any change in that dynamic because Ali is in his perfect spot. Where under Pochettino last season, he was kind of floating around. Son is in his perfect spot, and Moura is in his perfect spot.
All right. Aaron, let me ask you a question. What do you do if you want to piss really bad in the middle of the podcast? Do people leave and Martin keep talking?
I'll talk about Tottenham.
Go talk about Tottenham.
You have any worry that Martin can't talk?
No, I'll have a free card now. Free card to talk about whatever I want to talk about. So yeah, like overall, and please don't tell Ian I said that. Overall, there is clear superiority in terms of the way Tottenham plays comparing to Man U. I think we have a better football culture, and basically it's much better to be a Tottenham fan nowadays. All right, you didn't hear it. Okay. All right. Going back to the game. Definitely a great win for us, and it felt like a Mourinho type of a win, where they just pushed through at the end. The draw was probably the more fair result, and Wolves were very impressive in the recent weeks. They were impressive on both in Europa League and Premier League, and they were also. If you look at Leicester, and Leicester are in the top 4 right now, Wolves were pushing to be in top 4. And you knowing the example of Leicester, it's not impossible for those teams right now, with how much money there is in the Premier League altogether, that the other teams are catching up when so-called big clubs are having problems. There is room for those a little bit smaller clubs, but they're not small. They're still superior financially to all the rest of Europe. Just look at Wolves' team with guys like Neves, Jimenez. Those are high level players, or like Traore. So with Arsenal, Man U struggling at times, Tottenham was struggling the first 2 months of the season. There was the window of opportunity for Leicester, clearly taken advantage of by Brendan Rodgers and his boys. And Wolves were also catching up because they didn't start the season very well, but then they were winning games. So this game actually wasn't just for Tottenham to win and move up to potentially top 4 very soon, but I think the manager of Wolves also had the same plans. Like, they definitely want to finish top 6, and they can, but there is a possibility to finish top 4 for some of those teams outside of, I would say, the regular top 6, the richest clubs in the Premier League, the most traditional powerhouses. And part of the reason why is exactly the money, where you have more money for all those other teams to buy players, and we'll, I think, see it in the winter. I think there'll be a lot of movement between other leagues, between Spanish league, German league, Italian league, to the teams not necessarily Arsenal, Man City, or Man U, or Chelsea, but to those teams trying to stay in the Premier League, trying to finish around 12th, between 12th and 16th, 17th. There will be, I think, a lot of movement and big money transfers, where those clubs will be spending 30 or 40 million pounds, definitely more than 20 for players from those teams. So it's just a new reality of British football. I hope Ian is coming back. I hope he didn't hear my remarks about Man U.
So you weren't talking? You were on the air. You're supposed to be
I was talking all the time. Yeah, I just made a very, very long point about Wolves and Tottenham.
All right, I can't put the people who watch this do that again, but I'm just going to say I disagree. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's see what we got next.
Leicester. We didn't talk about Leicester yet.
Yeah, they tied.
They
dropped points.
They dropped points. It's 10 points now between Liverpool and Leicester. So
right,
looks like a done deal.
I still need to see Liverpool come back from this World Club competition and see how that works out first. But because that, more than anything, is going to hinder them than just actual games in the Premiership.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I said, Pep is doing the smart thing right now. He started the season with his best 11. And now that it's coming towards this competition, he has definitely given his players some breaks, and the players that he's put in for these players have definitely delivered.
Mhm.
So, excuse me, everything is working out. So, but I just need to see them get through. I think this club competition it's just more games than everybody else that they're really fighting against.
True, although I'll tell you this, I'm more confident about Liverpool keeping up winning than Leicester keeping up getting points. I think they overachieved a little bit. I still think they might finish top 4, and they probably will.
Last time they overachieved all the way to the title.
Yeah, but I just don't see it. I think they don't have that much depth, and even if they're very well coached, I don't think Vardy can maintain that scoring ratio till the end of the season.
Why not?
It's just doesn't feel that way. I don't think they have enough quality.
Their depth is not that bad. Like, Aaron, if you go down to the lineup, please, on that thing, and lineup, and you go down all the way.
It's a young team because they only have Vardy and Evans. I think 30 plus. Everybody else is.
And they got West. Like their bench.
Oh, West still
West
there.
is,
Oh my God.
They got Damari.
Didn't even know that he's still there.
They got
Mark
Albright.
Albright.
He's old. But Harvey Barnes, Ayoze Perez, which was their big buy. He didn't even play. So they have more depth than I thought, but it's still not a lot of depth. But it is more than you think.
Mm-hmm.
It's but yeah, they lack depth. But they also don't have to play all these games. They're not in the Champions League,
Mm-hmm.
no, the Europa League. But we'll see. We'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Like their lack of depth matches their lack of games, so it might even out.
Yeah, but the question is, yeah, sure. If they maintain top 4, I would say they will. But we talk about 10-point gap. I don't see them being, that effective to close the 10-point gap. That I think it's.
I kind of agree.
much.
I kind of agree with you. I just want to see Liverpool jump this hurdle first. Like,
how much is between Liverpool and City? 14 points. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, because City could potentially be still a threat, especially if they lose to Real Madrid in the Champions League, and that's the only thing they can win.
Right.
Which is possible.
Then they'll just try to chase them down, like the last leg of the 4x100 meters with their Usain Bolt sprint.
Yeah, it will be tough. Oh, if they lose to Real Madrid, that whole season is a disaster. Because I think that was their goal, to win the Champions League.
They can win a League Cup or FA Cup.
No, that's for Mourinho to win. We need it more than City.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're gonna get it. You've needed a lot of things more, and you still never won them. So
we will. I have a feeling we will.
Yeah. You had that feeling about the Champions League. How'd that work out?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the final.
West Ham, Pellegrini. They won.
Yeah, whenever they try to fire him, he wins games,
Yeah, they won 2 in a row, right?
No. They didn't win. They won. Last time they almost fired him 3 weeks ago. Then he lost another 2 games, and I think they tried to fire him now, and he won.
He won against Southampton.
So twice with the back to the wall, he won.
Yeah. What do you think? Like not. Listen, they're 15th, and it's
a big win.
It's a big win against Southampton.
Yeah, that's another relegation team.
For some reason, it's not working out. Maybe they should keep him and see how it's going to go. Like, he's got to help himself, though, and win some more games. Next week, they play Crystal Palace, who is not easy.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace tied. They salvaged some points this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
They have a lot of old players on the team. The West Ham. I saw pre-game interview with Zabaleta. I forgot that he's still in the Premier League.
He didn't play though.
He didn't play?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's slide down on this.
Because I saw him on NBC that he was giving an interview before the game.
It's never a good sign when some weeks
he didn't.
Your players
on the bench
is in the sky.
He was on the bench.
In the skyboard talking with retired players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen him do that. Yeah. Do you definitely think West Ham should be doing better though, right?
Mm-hmm. Cresswell is an interesting player. He should be probably on a better team. But the team is not good. Look, and Declan Rice is, of course, he's someone considered for better teams. But other than that,
considered. He's got to prove it.
Antonio is okay. I mean, not bad, not great. Snodgrass was usually on relegation teams all his career.
Yeah, Antonio has been a spark. Like, he was going at it this game, and he scored a goal, but it got like taken back for like a handball. But I'm not even sure that was a handball. But fuck it. But I don't know. It feels like they spent money, right?
On Haller, they spent a lot of money. The guy who scored, yeah.
Danny Ings been, not Danny Ings is Southampton. Yeah,
They still have Noble. They still have Snodgrass,
Noble plays good.
Ogbonna, all those old guys.
They beat us, but we're a young team. Slide up. Let me see that bench, Aaron. Thanks.
Not great.
Yarmolenko was doing something. He beat it. He scored a goal against us.
But then the rest, not that.
I like Masuaku.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be a midfielder. They play him in the back. Maybe they're not that good. Maybe Pellegrini's getting exactly out of him what he should.
What happened to Chicharito?
Yeah. I don't know if he left or he stayed. Also,
I think he left.
You know who's on their team? Or he was last season?
Wilshere.
From Wilshere.
Yeah.
But Wilshere, so they spent money.
What happened to Wilshere?
It's not that good, man. He was not good at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's only like 27, I think.
Let me tell you. Let me see. Jack Wilshere.
They called him the future of English football not far ago.
There's a lot of people we called those future.
Cleverly.
One of his name was Gaza. Remember Gaza?
Yeah. He looks good
Jack
though.
Wilshere's 27.
27, yeah. There was a photo of him.
Should be in his prime.
Yeah, should be in his prime.
He don't want it though. When I see him like on the field, he don't want it. He ain't busting his ass.
Too many injuries. Maybe he's scared of another injury. It's just mental block,
Yeah, but then you might as well find out. You know what I mean? Instead of like being in the friend zone with a girl by not asking her out, and you're just like waiting, and you're watching her date other people.
Yeah, so that's what I did last week.
Just ask her.
I asked and I was rejected.
Ask your body, and then you're like, oh, so should I quit body? Fine. So I move on to something else and secure my future. Yeah, ask your body, Wilshere. Should you go hard? Stop friend zoning your soccer game.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's pretty much majorly it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do the positions in the table.
Mm-hmm.
Run through, and the big game next week is what?
Tottenham Chelsea.
And you say?
I say we'll win big this game. And
this game is right before Christmas.
Sunday,
and then Christmas is Tuesday, and then there's games again Wednesday, Thursday.
I think it's on 26th, so it's Thursday, Friday.
Christmas is when?
Christmas is
the 25th.
25th is Wednesday.
25th is Wednesday. So then Thursday. Okay. All right, dope. So, listen, we might not be doing the podcast from the studio on next week because the studio is shut down, but we will be doing it. You just might get in some cell phone video. But we'll still do it. We'll figure out a way. All right. So here's the tables. And the tables is so then there's Liverpool still doing their thing. Still Dre, 49 points. They are number one. Heads above everybody on the table. They have separated themselves. They have a dime lead on Leicester, who is second. And Leicester tripped up this week. They lost points to Norwich. Good for Norwich to get a point. They needed it. They're like floating at the bottom of the table. And they managed to grab something from Leicester, who's been on a great winning streak. Man City, should I say ex-champions yet? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But pretty much, but maybe not. They are third with 35 points. They beat Arsenal handily, easily. It was like, it was, I understand the fans being upset because their team did not look competitive. But, Arsenal, you got some shit to be fixed. And it's a lot of shit.
A lot.
And sometimes you just need somebody with a clear mind to touch two buttons, and there'll be a nice, good, decent amount of a correction for you to be like, oh, it's not that bad. We just have to fix these other little things, and we will be better. But until somebody does that, you motherfuckers are free falling without a parachute. All right, Chelsea, they're fourth. They have 29 points. They've had 4 losses in their last 5. A few weeks ago, everybody was like, Lampard is really galvanizing this young team. They're doing their thing. What do you think is the problem over here? Just out of curiosity.
They got to figure out a little bit, They got to figure out a little bit. And I know that Chelsea fans are hating on Willian a lot. They're blaming him a lot.
I know. But my homeboy, the guy, have you seen or worked or done the podcast with my Indian friend, Neil Chakravarti?
Yeah. What do you remember when Tony was here?
Yeah, he hates on Willian a lot.
Yeah, you see? I told you.
But Willian's been one of their best players all year. When they had the shaky start, once they put Willian in the lineup, they started playing better. But
also, the young players are just inconsistent, which is normal. It's just like
I tell you about Man U, but you refuse
Pulisic.
to accept that from Man U. But I see
Pulisic.
how biased you are. Yeah, you're just so blatantly biased.
It's only 4 points between Man U and Chelsea. Look, it's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Up for grabs.
I mean, I doubt we'll get it, but I like.
I know who we didn't talk about. Sheffield United. We didn't talk about.
We'll get to them when I slide down the table. 5th is Tottenham. They finally won a match in the Premier League again. Jesus Christ!
What are you talking about? 4 out of 5.
They beat Wolves. We discussed that. Next week they'll probably lose to Chelsea. So enjoy 5th until this weekend, Martin. Celebrate. 6th is Man U. We haven't lost a game in 5 games, and we have draws, but that's just growing pains. And so, for me, we get points from all the games from a young team. We got Watford coming up. Don't let Nigel Pearson get his first Watford win. We can't be having that, even though we're going to Watford.
Didn't you lose to Watford last 3 seasons in a row?
It is completely possible.
I think so.
Yeah, it is completely possible. So let's not have that happen this weekend. All right, Sheffield. You want to talk about Sheffield?
Yeah, it's incredible. Because those players, the guy who scored 2 goals last game, they signed him when he was in League One. He was a reject on a bunch of teams, and this team grew together from none of these players was considered being on a Premier League level before they came to Premier League with Sheffield. But as a group, they play very well together, but none of them was a Premier League player before, was at the level. They were all rejects, bunch of, signed for free or almost for free at the League 1 or League 2 level.
Sounds like a great movie.
Unbelievable.
Plus, their coach, this is his childhood team. And the thing with Villa, too, Dean Smith, is it Dean Smith for Villa, the head coach of Villa?
I forgot.
Right. This Villa is his childhood team. So both of these teams brought their teams out of the championship and their childhood teams out of the championship. I think Dean Smith, his father, was like a groundsman for Villa, or it's the reverse. I gotta look it up. Or it's the reverse. But these Chris Wilde at Sheffield is doing his thing, and Sheffield is 7th. They got 25 points. Wolverhampton is on their case. They're 8th with 24 points. They lost to you guys. They got jammed, Norwich. So Norwich is in for it next week. It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
And Crystal Palace is 9th. Who would have thought that? And they got points out of their 4 of their last 5 games. Next week they play Newcastle. That's going to be tough up at Newcastle. So Crystal Palace is 9th for now, though. Right after Crystal Palace is Arsenal. They're 10th. They only have 22 points. And let's see. They have 22 points, right? How much does Chelsea have?
29.
So is this thing really that bad?
Yeah, because out of last 9 games they won 1, I think. So
Chelsea lost 4 out of their last 5.
Yeah, but you don't see a first of all, they don't have even a manager, So it's like a club in disarray. So it's like more factors to it.
Yeah, but that discrepancy definitely shows, like you mentioned earlier, it's probably fired Emery in a panic.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's not that bad. Like, people can't ride out a rough month. You know what I mean? It's very emotional. Like, before the games that Solskjaer just won, fire him. Then he wins the games. He's our man. And then now we'll see what happens.
Mhm,
And then
mhm.
people just, like, how are people like this in their relationships, these fans?
Pretty much. That's why so many divorces.
Jesus. 'Cause,
But with
man,
Arsenal, actually, is an exception because, you know, look, like, they spend money, they have a big names on the team. You know, it's clearly not good enough. You know what I mean? It's not.
yeah, they just need better spenders.
They need, first of all, they need a manager. They need a manager who will put his emphasis on the team. You know, like we did with Mourinho now, who clearly has a vision of what he wants to do.
I think it's too soon.
He's the good guy. The good guy.
I think it's too soon for you to be
Somebody said on
100% sure that Mourinho is going to work out.
Somebody said on the Guardian podcast I was listening today in the morning, like, how long he'll maintain this kumbaya
Exactly.
humble thing.
Exactly.
Because he's very humble. He's extremely humble. He's never been that humble in his whole life.
Newcastle is 11th. They got 22 points. They lost this week, but they're doing pretty good for Newcastle. Steve Bruce was Benitez that good, or was he that bad that Bruce can play with a team that has considerably less better players, like just a degree or two,
Mhm.
and be higher in the table than the Benitez Newcastle was.
Well, by the way, Benitez is another name mentioned with Arsenal. So
All right. But he's in China making millions, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Burnley is 12th. And they needed a win. They got one.
hmm
Yeah, because they've been slipping. And they got it against Newcastle. And they are 12th with 21 points. Brighton Hove, they're 13th. This is, where Brighton Hove should be.
Mhm.
And they got a draw this week against Crystal Palace. So, you're 13th. Brighton Hove, that's where you'll be. And Bournemouth, they're 14th. Like, Bournemouth does this. They lost 4 in a row, then they win 1 against Chelsea. Like, last season, there was a point where it was like, is Bournemouth going to get relegated?
Mhm.
And then they went on a decent amount. So Bournemouth will lose a bunch and then win a bunch.
Yeah.
And then be like a checkerboard in between, like missing teeth here in a mouth. And then win, lose. So if they do what they do, and
They're
they stay up.
interesting. They have interesting fan base. I just met some random people who live there. It's apparently one of the most expensive places to live in England. Like a lot of
By the beach?
yeah, a lot of wealthy people, like businessmen. It's like Miami of England, you know.
Oh, yeah. When you only want it 30 degrees. The hot part of England in the wintertime. West Ham is 15th with 19 points. Are they really as good as the money they spent? It appears not. Is Pellegrini as bad as a coach as this team is making him look? We not sure. I thought they had a good team, good players. They beat ManU, but maybe not. So maybe 15th is what they deserve. Everton is in 16th place with 18 points, and Aston Villa's right behind them.
3 losses in a row.
3 losses in a row, but then they could go on a run. They got Southampton, next. And Southampton is right below them in the table at 18th. Does Villa want Southampton to climb over them
Yeah.
in the table? Or
What is your friend saying?
Are they going to kick downwards and step on on Southampton's fingers and make them fall down wrong off the ladder?
What is your friend saying? Is he worried about Villa or not?
We don't talk on the days when Villa loses. He said,
So you didn't talk in 3 weeks, I guess.
right. We have not spoken much in 3 weeks. He'll send me the highlights of the Villa games when they win, and then I know we can start talking.
Mhm.
Right now, he's definitely on suicide watch. I hope his wife is monitoring him.
Especially when Grealish missed the penalty, right?
Yeah. They
Oh
hit
my
the post, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. It shouldn't have been a penalty anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of I didn't believe in that penalty, so maybe justice was served after all. 18th is Southampton, and they've lost 2 in a row, but they won 2 before that, and they're doing Southampton. They're still paying for the sales of Christmas past when they sold players. They didn't sell the last 2 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
but they've sold enough to. It's like you're a smoker or some shit,
Yeah.
and you quit smoking, but your lungs are so damaged from 90 years of smoking, you might as well have kept smoking.
Yeah, they've had some great players on the team. Sadio Mane was in Southampton.
Yeah. And so some Liverpool, yeah. The Liverpool's Champion League champion squad, a bunch of players from there. So yeah, you're missing those guys. Norwich, you're 19th with 12 points.
I think they're done.
Think they're done?
Yeah.
They're only. Listen, if they had 7 more points, is it 7 more? If they had 7 more points, they'd be ahead of Everton.
Yeah, but out of those 12 points, they beat City. They I think they got a draw against you guys. No,
maybe I can't remember.
I know that they got some surprising results. I think they beat Chelsea. I think probably
they play good football.
Yeah, but they don't get any points against teams that they should be competing directly with, and that's a bad sign. That's a sign, to get relegated, because they're not good against bad teams, and at this, when you're fighting for your survival, you have to beat those teams.
I'm not convinced yet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But they got Wolves next week, so that ain't gonna be easy.
Yeah.
And Watford is 20th. They got 9 points. Next week they play Man U. Man U, don't fuck this up.
Listen, the guy they hired once upon a time brought Leicester from similar positions, so
right.
You never know.
Yeah, they won on like a 7-game win streak or something like that. Yeah. Well, after December though. So if you wanna Watford and Nigel Pearce go on a win streak, do it when you did it with Leicester after December. You're at the bottom of the table at the beginning of the year, and you won your way out, and what they finished like 10th or some shit like that, and then the season afterwards they won. So
season after that they won a title.
So stick to the timetable. Lose to us next week. Ken, all right, you got anything you want to plug?
Sure. I mean, so you can find me on 442. Next magazine probably will be one of my interviews. I don't know, either Casey Keller or Tim Howard. TV wise, I will be on Black Lighting on CW next month.
Black Lightning, that's
Black Lightning.
Black Lightning, y'all.
Black Lightning, yeah.
That's pretty good. You gonna play a villain again?
I can't tell.
You can, but you're not gonna, which is fine. We should check it out. Check him out on Black Lightning on the CW, right?
Yes, sir.
That's good shit. For me, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ian Edwards Comic. Check out the Roommate series on Instagram with me and Paul Elia. Also, you can go to my website, ianedwardscomedian.com, for my tour dates. This weekend, this Saturday, I'll be at the Rec Room. Me and Eric Griffin co-headlining the Rec Room in Huntington Beach. So go to their website, purchase some tickets, come out with your friends, and come have a fun show. It's a fun place. They got games and shit there too. And it's a new up-and-coming room in Huntington Beach, great part of California. People out there, come through, check out the show. And my album is available at CD Baby. And it's also, boom, you could get to it at my website, CD Baby. Cop it, called 100% Half-Ass, produced by Conan. So that's still there. And basically, Merry Christmas, right? This is
Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
exactly.
Merry Christmas.
Soccer Christmas, because that's
Merry
always
soccer Christmas. Yeah, Christmas is a great time for soccer, for the Premier League specifically, because the games are going to come at you fast and furious. By the time you're upset because your team lose, you could be happy the next day because they're going to play again, and you can get past that loss really fast. It's
4 rounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I don't think Ancelotti should take the Everton job. And if Everton is fine with being Ancelotti's rebound team, you know what I'm saying? Nobody ever sticks with their rebound girlfriend.
Yeah.
They're just a rebound girlfriend, and they just need to use that girlfriend to get over the last team they were fired from, or the last girl that they broke up with. So Everton, if you're fine being Ancelotti's rebound team, sign him. All right. Peace, one love, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, time off, food, presents, gifts, have fun, one love. Aaron Brungardt, you good, fam?
I'm good. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, man. Thank you. Anything to plug?
Sure. Check me out on Twitter at Hilarious.
Boom.
And then you can find how to spell my name, and that's my Instagram.
Good luck, y'all, with that.
Yeah.
All right, one.
All right.